going on, guys? Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you'll probably remember me fitting this TRC front splitter. And you'll probably also remember me saying that I think these are definitely the best styling mod, the best styling mod you can do to them, the best styling modification you can do to a Mark 6 Fiesta. But ever since I fitted it, there's been something missing. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I have a massive package. And today, I'm going to show you it. Inside this box are some side skirt extensions and rear bumper spats from R Composites. These, along with the front splitter that we've already got, complete what TRC used to sell as the low-line kit. Sadly, they don't sell the whole kit anymore, but at least you can still get the bits individually. And I think these are really going to finish off the outside of the car. Now, I'm going to start off by fitting the rear spats. You don't actually need to remove your bumper to do this. You could very easily just drill it through the bumper with it in situ. But because I'm OCD about stuff like this, and because my bumper's easy to remove, I'm going to take the bumper off the car. You might remember that in a previous video, I actually removed the rivets that hold the rear bumper on and replaced them with rivnuts so that I could easily remove and reattach the rear bumper by just undoing a screw. Then there's just a screw in each of the wheel arches and potentially a couple of clips under the rear diffuser, but if I'm honest, they've probably fallen off again by now. And that's the rear bumper off. There are also a couple of little clips I forgot to mention that hold the arch liners to the bumper. You can easily get those out with a little trim removal tool, but more often than not, they've probably fallen off or the arch liner's ripped. So I'm just going to line up the rear spats with the bumper, then drill some pilot holes with a small drill bit. Then with the pilot holes drilled, I'm going to drill these out to the same diameter as the mounting bolts. Then mount the spats to the bumper using the nuts and bolts that are supplied with them. So let's quickly do the other side. Lovely. Now we can stick the bumper back on the car. And that's the rear spats done, and oh wow, they look so good, especially next to those diffuser fins. I can't wait to get the side skirts on, and that's what's next. Now the side skirt extensions I'm gonna do a little bit differently, because once we've mounted these onto the car, every time we want to jack up the car, the side skirt extensions are going to be in the way of us removing the factory jacking point covers. So these are going to have to be removed to undo the jacking point cover. Now I don't want to be under here with a spanner and a ratchet and all that sort of stuff, trying to reach my hand under the back of the side skirt and try and undo the nut on the back every single time that I want to jack the car up. That's just not going to fly. Especially as it's all going to have to come off again soon when we wrap the car. Wait, what? That's right, if you didn't already know, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be vinyl wrapping the Fiesta. And I've actually been measuring up for the vinyl today because we're getting really close. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel and that's something you want to see, then make sure you subscribe, otherwise you're going to miss it. But for now, let's get on with removing these side skirts. Again, you don't actually need to remove the side skirts to do this, but for the method I'm using, I think it will be a bit easier. And also I want to replace some of the factory clips because part of the original side skirts are just a bit loose and hanging off. So we're going to actually remove this because it's just going to make the job easier, in my opinion. There's some clips underneath that you need to remove. And then there's a load of like push rivet things down the side underneath the side skirt that like hold it to the body of the car. Now, I don't want to yank on these too hard because I really don't want to break the little plastic tabs that are on the side skirts that hold this clip in. I just want to remove the clips from the body. Now, I'm using some pry tools and I'm just going to go really carefully and try and pry as many of those out as I can without damaging the body of the car as well. That's going to be another challenge, but hopefully once I've removed those, I think they go pretty much all the way along, and then once they're all out, we should be able to get the side skirt off. And there we go, side skirt's out. Actually quite easy. Now I think these are actually going to be quite difficult to mount because A, they're so long, and B, they're still quite flexible. The side skirt extension isn't that flexible, but the side skirt itself is like really wobbly, so it's hard to hold anything in place now that it's off the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start at one end. I've had a little play with these already to see if I could like figure out whereabouts they want to sit, but they pretty much sit flush with the shape of the side skirt, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to line up the one end for now And I'm going to put one end in and then kind of use that as a pivot to like line up the rest of it, and then I can attach the rest of the extension. So I'm going to start off by just lining up this end and then drilling a pilot hole. Then we need to bore out this hole to the correct diameter. Now, although I'm using the bolts that were supplied with the kit, I'm not actually going to be using the nuts on the back. Like I said earlier, I'm actually going to use a Rivnut. So this is going to be quite a bit wider than the shaft of the bolt. So I am going to have to drill this hole out a bit wider than this. This is an M6 thread on this bolt, and I've got an M6 Rivnut, but obviously the outside of it's a bit thicker. It's 9mm. I don't actually have a 9mm drill bit, but I've got an 8 or a 10, so I'm going to go with the 8 and just see if I can widen this out a bit. Okay, perfect. So with the side skirt off the car, I can actually show you how this works. So here's our Rivnut, and basically what this does is it gives us a threaded insert which we can rivet into the bottom of the side skirt, and then we can bolt our side skirt extension to this using the M6 bolts that were supplied with them. So basically what you do is there's a threaded section on the top of this tool, so you screw the Rivnut onto that threaded section. Then I'm going to insert the tool into that hole that we drilled in the side skirt earlier. So you can just see that sticking through there. And then basically once that's pushed up tight against there, you squeeze the tool and that should compress the Rivnut and then seal and basically rivet it to the side skirt. You just use this handle at the back to twist it out. Yeah, okay, so I'm used to doing this on metal. Like, it is in there, but it's kind of like forced it into the plastic, and I'm not sure how strong it's actually gonna be. It doesn't feel like it's gonna come out, so I'm hoping we're gonna be okay. I hope this actually works. Yeah, we'll have to bolt it up and see. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna throw the bolt in the first bit and just see if this is actually gonna hold. I actually think it might be okay, you know. I was a bit worried to start with, but I think we'll be fine. Okay, so I've put the first bolt in just loosely for now, and then I've got a nice pivot for the rest of it so I can drill the rest of my pilot holes and get the rest of this thing lined up, and then we can put the rest of the Rivnuts in and then the rest of the bolts in, and then it's on. So now I'm just going to drill the rest of the pilot holes. Then I'm going to remove the side skirt extension for now. Drill out the rest of the mounting holes. And then install the rest of the Rivnuts. So there you go. As you can see, we've now got all the Rivnuts installed along the bottom of the side skirt. And now we can bolt up the TRC side skirt extension. But what I am going to do, as well as just using the M6 bolt that came with the kit, I'm also going to use one of the M6 washers between the bolt and the side skirt extension, and I'm also going to use one of these spring washers. What that's going to do is that's going to put tension on this bolt and hopefully stop it from vibrating loose. So we're going to put the spring washer over the bolt like that, then we're going to go through the M6 washer, through the side skirt extension, and then bolt that into the bottom of our side skirt. Now it's worth mentioning that the spring washers don't actually come with the kit, they're just something extra that I had lying around, so you would have to buy those extra if you wanted to do it my way, but you'd also have to get the Rivnuts and the tool to insert those. I just wanted to let you know that if you do want to do it this way and put that tension on the bolt to hopefully stop this vibrating loose, then you would have to get those as well. So I'm going to get the rest of this bolted up and then we can fit this back to the car. And there we go. Now luckily when I removed this I managed to keep all the clips intact, so it should just clip back on, no problem. As long as we can line everything up properly, we're on to a winner. There we go, perfect. So that's the passenger side done, and oh my god, it's looking so good. These things look the nuts. I absolutely love them. It really finishes off the complete low line kit to match the splitter. I love it. I absolutely love these things. They make the cars look so good. They look so much lower, so much more aggressive. That looks banging. Right, let's crack on and do the driver's side. And we're done. That's the side skirt extensions and the rear spats fitted, and oh my god, they look so good. I'm so happy to finally have my hands on a set of these. I've been waiting for these to come in stock for so long. They finally had them back in, and I just had to get them, and I'm so glad they did. They look insane. One thing I am noticing though is every time we do something nice to the car, it highlights something else that needs addressing. Now we've got the rear spats and the side skirt extensions on here, it just looks that little bit wider, but the wheels look even more tucked into the arches, so we definitely need to get these spaced out. But that's going to be for another video. Now, I've actually been looking back at some of my earlier videos, and it is crazy just how much of a transformation this car's had since we picked it up. So if you're not already subscribed and you haven't been watching the channel up to this point, make sure you subscribe and go back and check what this car was like when I picked it up, because like I say, it has been such a transformation to get it to how it is now, and that's only going to get better because remember, I said it earlier in the video, but I'll say it again, we're wrapping this car when we hit 1,000 subscribers, and at this point when I'm filming this, we're only 60 away, so come on, let's get it done. Right, that's it, time to end. Thank you very much for watching, see you next time.